Hi everyone, back again, and I am hopefully going to finish off this side of the album cover today. There was a few things I thought I'd better explain, because when I first started this, thinking about this album and designing it in my head, I actually was going to have the musical box in the spine. I was going to have an extra bit on the spine and you would just be able to wind it up from the spine. But then I changed my mind and did it this way. But on the next one, what I want to do is make possibly a baby album and then put the musical box in the spine. So that's something that's going to come up. So this is why this is kind of being done on the fly, so to speak, just winging it, because I'm kind of making it up as I go along. Anyway, this is how far we got last time, and all I've done is I've put this piece of paper on over the edge of my chipboard here. So for my next job, I'm going to take it was these 9 1/8 by 6 that I cut down slightly shorter, and I'm going to pop this one. I've put the hinge on 3 sides, so on one of the long sides and both the shorter sides, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this inside. So when I've put these hinges on, I've left a small gap here. So the first thing I should do is take off my tape backing. Hopefully not make such a mess as I did last time, because oh, I made such a mess. It took me about half an hour to tidy up. Okay, so making sure that these are all folded in so they're not going to get in the way. And this has to go nice and flush so that the top is nice and level. So I'm going to make sure that's all even, and I'm just going to run my bone folder on those hinges there. Okay, now I want to put the hinges on the outside, so I want to do these 2 edges up here and this bit here, just to make sure it's going to be nice and secure. And also nice and square, because you really do want this to be as square as possible. I'm going to give that a really good squeeze. Okay, so for my next one, get out some of these hinges. I'm going to run one along the bottom here, I'm going to take off both sides of my tape backing here. And I'm going to make sure that that is very much where it's supposed to be, because I'm not happy with that. That's better. Nope. No. You want this to stay as straight as possible, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a straight edge here. There we go. That's better. Okay, now I can put this bit on. So just line it up here. Okay, now I want to do these 2 upright edges here. Just get my rubbish out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to measure up this bit here. Miter those edges a little bit. And making sure you have to really make sure that this is pushed in properly and is level. Everything looks good, and then give that a really good squeeze and fold that over. Okay, that little bit at the top overhanging, I'm just going to cut off. Okay, now for this one, I'm going to do this one exactly the same. You see there's just a tiny gap there. I can just fit the end of my nail in, so I'm going to make sure that that is properly squashed together when I put my hinge on. Without chucking things away. Okay, so I'm going to lay it down on this side. Give it a really, really good squeeze and fold it all in. And then give it a good burnish. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is cover up the open edge here, the raw edges. I want to cover them over to make them nice and neat. So 1, 2, and this one here, I think. So now, as you can see, if I do this completely on camera, it takes a long, long time. So this won't be something that I do very often. Okay, that is slightly too long. Better. Okay, and then really squeeze that down so it fits really well. Okay, and now just for the top and the bottom raw edges. Make sure that one feels a bit dodgy to me. just going to pull this one down slightly to make it a little bit neater. Yeah, I'm happier with that. There we go. Okay, so now we have the 2 drawers made, and we have the box for the drawers at the side. So we know that one drawer is going to go here, and one drawer is going to go up here. Of course, you may not want this. You may want something completely different. You could have a drawer and then have a little door opening here with an extra little mini album in it or something. Oh, that would be a good idea, wouldn't it? No. And then you have your 2 little floor bits here to hold the drawers in. So you know one's going to go in here, and one, as you can see, on 3 sides of the, and this is the 5 9/16 by 3 5/8 piece, and this holds this drawer up and the middle drawer up. It's the drawer separators. On 3 sides, on 3 edges, on both sides, I have put some, oh dear, I have put on the hinges ready. My brain isn't working. I think I have an inner ear infection. It feels like I permanently have vertigo. So my brain is not working, less so than usual. Okay, so I know that these are going to go in here, like this. Now I have to measure this bit in between to know how big my middle drawer is going to be. Another easy way to do it is to pop them all up one side and measure the gap you have left. So the gap I have left to make my drawer will be 4 1/16 of an inch. So my drawer cannot be bigger than 4 1/16. So I'm going to do my drawer 3 7/8 of an inch high. That way I know I'm going to have enough space. And if there's a little gap, it'll look okay. So my drawer will have to be 5 3/4 inches. So my sides are going to be 5 3/4 by 3 7/8. And my base will be exactly the same. So my base is 3 1/4 by 5 3/4. But that's the base that we already had because we cut 3 of those. And the height is 3 7/8. So I need 2 pieces that are 3 3/8 by 3 7/8. So I need 2 of those, and 2 pieces that are 5 3/4 by 3 7/8, and that give me the 2 sides and the 2 ends of the drawer. And oh look, I've already done mine. But first of all, I want to measure up and make sure that these go in the right place. This is not easy, not really. So I'm going to take off my tape backing on all 6 pieces of hinge that I have, and hope that this works out okay. So this needs to be, I'm going to measure up on that side. Maybe I should just do it with a pencil. Would that be easier, do you think? So this needs to be here, and I'm going to measure up. It has to be here and here. But it also has to be level all the way through to the bottom. So I'm going to put this here, this here, fold that down at the bottom, and I'm going to slip this in here. Oh, that didn't work out too good, did it? about good. 1, 2. Hopefully there, that will be right. Okay, double check that again. That should be able to slip in there. Perfect. Okay, now I have to do the same for the bottom one. So all tape backing off. Okay, and as I've just learnt my lesson to do this, I can do it again, the same on this one, or not. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay my drawer just in there like that. And then make sure that this goes in level. Right, let me check that. That does not look level at the back. Okay, that drawer doesn't feel too good, but all right. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just resting the drawer separator on that bottom drawer gently. Okay, I think that is about right. So I rested it, pressed it down gently on top of this drawer, held it down slightly, made sure I could get this in and out. Now I am going to burnish and get those hinges stuck down. Those should be exactly the same. Ta-da! Okay, so the next thing I want to do is put a little piece of decorative paper, plain paper, over there to cover up that piece there. One, two. Okay. What will also make this slightly stronger and more stable is I'm going to cover all the panels in plain cardstock, and what that will do will be help to hold down all the edges. So there's that one there. And that one there. So that's nice and neat. Now I'm going to double check once again the width that I have in between here. Let's try doing it in inches instead of centimetres. And it is 4 and, he's exactly right, 4 1/16. So 3 7/8 will fit in there absolutely fine. Now I can see, right, that's putting pretty straight. I'm pretty pleased with that. So now to make the final drawer, and in the meantime I'm just going to slip these in here to keep them out of the way. And I'm going to make this last drawer. Pop that up out of the way there. Right, so once again, so this is 3 3/8 by 3 7/8. So 3 3/8 by 3 7/8, one each side. And for the sides, it's 3 7/8 by 5 3/4. And that'll make a drawer that'll fit into the gap that you measured. Obviously, if your measurements are slightly different, you do it to your measurements. And this drawer goes together exactly the same way as the two smaller drawers that you made. So I'm going to release the tape backing on the side. Hold this up against the edge. And fold this up. Same on this side. Right up against the edge. Fold this up. I'm going to put the top ones on. Remembering that I have a small overhang on each side of this piece. This side. Okay, and I'm going to line this box exactly the same way as I did with the smaller ones. So I'm going to do all the insides at the bottom, then the uprights, and then go round the edge, and then I'm going to go round with the tape. So it'll be exactly the same as this one here, just taller. So I will do that because you've seen me do that and you don't want to see me do it again. So I'll do that and then I'll be back. All done. I just put 3 lines of tape on this one, obviously, because it's taller. And joined at the back. That's basically it, really. So there's enough movement there to get it easily in and out. And these ones. Now, the next thing I will do is I'm going to put my plain paper on the inside. So each of these panels I'm going to line just with plain paper on the inside here, and then that will be that. And then I'll come back in another video, so it's a slightly shorter video this time. Really, it was just finishing off this and doing the draw. So that's that for now, and next time I'll do the actual covers, I think. Yeah, I'm going to do the actual covers next time. So I am going to do that, just line each one of these. So all I'll be doing is getting scrap pieces of paper and matting each of the exposed inside sides. Inside sides? Yeah. And I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.